Great time we have with this guy. A big hand, please, for Nick Petrillo. Come on, give it a
How's everyone doing tonight? I can't hear. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright, let's put that. Alright, I'm going to do this a little differently. Everyone seems to be bouncing around their jokes. I'm going to tell you my life story in a nutshell. Give you a little bit about myself. I went to Massapequa High School. I grew up here in Massapequa, New York. I was also voted best dressed by my graduating class. I kind of knew I was going to win that award all along. You know, every day in the halls, people were like, Nick, that's a cool button down. I'd be like, thank you. And, you know, everyone would be like, hey man, check that out. Right? You see that? Nick's bringing back assless chaps. Growing up, I also had a dog. Dog's name was Chiba. My dad named it Weed. If you didn't guess, I've turned out about the same. And, you know, the dog is treated like another child. We love it equally. You know, it gets fed the same food from the table as I get fed. Gets to sleep in the same bed. Wait a second, hold on, I'm crated. Quickly, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Alyssa. She came here, just recently got back from a training session in Kentucky for the Army. Thank you, Alyssa, for coming out. Her birthday is coming up, and I thought in order to celebrate, what better way to do it than to go down to Cherry Grove and Fire Island. Now, I'm not gay, but for Alyssa, it's a great experience. You know, we get to go out, her and I get to drink and have fun. She gets to be the other half, and I get to finagle free drinks. Things that you need to know about me that I hate in life. One is, without a doubt, awkward situations. The other day I went out for a bachelor party. One of my friends was getting married. Yeah, I know. I'm way too young. I'm 20. That should not happen. And the most incredible thing happened. I bumped into my therapist. Yeah, she was on stage. Later on that night, she offered to give me a lap dance and whispered in my ear, "How does this make you feel?" I felt it was too awkward to continue. I said, I am done. She said, fine, how are you paying, cash or credit? I looked at her and said, copay? Another thing I absolutely hate, just like Adam, potholes. I go to school in Indiana. Indianapolis is the one city in the United States that has the most potholes in any square mileage area. Literally, it's like driving through Baghdad. For a period of time, I was operating the OnStar systems, you know, for Chevy cars and GM cars. And I would get calls like this all the time. I'd pick up the phone and be, hello, thank you for calling OnStar. This is Nick. How can I help you? Oh my God! My Prius flipped! I'm 2 clicks out from Walgreens! Send help! Sir, the paramedics are on their way. Please hurry! My Yeti cup flipped over! The double insulation doesn't work that way! Fuck you, McDonald's! Alright, the main part of this show for you is the advice I'm going to give you. I call this section the 5 things you need to know about going to college. I feel like a lot of people in the audience have kids who are going to be 18, 19, 20 years old and going away to school. And these are the things I've learned thus far. I go to Indiana University. People ask me why would I choose my school again, and it'd definitely be for the alumni network. You know, in the business school we got people like Mark Cuban. In the film and media school we got Dan Asbach, who directed Rudy and Hoosiers. And then public TV personality-wise, we have Jared from Subway. Yeah, funny story about that. One of my very good friends at school, his name's Adam, was living in Jared's old apartment last year. Yeah. Jared's old apartment is directly above a closed-down Subway. Every day that guy would walk down, the 300-pound monster he was, you know, break every floorboard, go down the stairs, grab himself a turkey, bacon, lettuce, cheese, or whatever he got, and lost all that weight. But I asked my friend Adam, I go, Adam, knowing what's gone on in that building, how could you possibly live there? Says, no problem, I sleep fine, I just eat at Quiznos. The other thing I think everyone needs to know before they go to college is you will find your first love. For 4 months during the spring semester, I dated a girl named Morgan, and she was the first love of my life. And then she wasn't. It all went wrong when one night I noticed she was collecting wine corks, and I said, baby, what are you using those for? She said, nothing. I said, are we using them for like butt plugs? Do we want to get freaky? She said, no, they're for my art project. Ironically, she broke up with me the next day. I woke up to a sharp pain and a champagne cork. But that whole experience made me realize about relationships. You gotta find the right person. Her family was actually Amish. She's first generation, like, broken away. And to me, I didn't want to marry into a family that was actually going to churn butter. So now that I know this, when I come back, and eventually have to pop the question to somebody, I hope I meet a nice Jewish girl. That way, when December rolls around, I'm getting presents on Christmas, my birthday, and Hanukkah. Shabbat Shalom. Another great thing you all need to know about college is the ability now to do online interviews. Pretty much everything I've done these days with major companies, from Microsoft to PwC to KPMG, is all done online. I've not sat down with one recruiter yet. And to be honest with you, I've aced them all. They go super easy. I don't know if I ever get the job, though. I accidentally keep hitting the flush lever on the toilet. Just the sound gets muffled. Also, one thing y'all should know is that drinking causes nothing but problems. Mom, Dad, you do not know this, but my first semester I was given a drinking ticket for public intoxication. I got off easy though. The officer knew just by the way I stopped at the stop sign that I had way too much to drink that night. I looked at him and said, "Officer, since when is stopping at a stop sign suspect for being drunk?" He replied to me, when you're walking. The biggest lesson I want you all to take away, though, is that college is not the best option for everyone, and you do not need it to find your dream job. One of my best friends, Tom Webster, just dropped out of Indiana his senior year. He's not going to be a fifth-year senior. And he got a job working at Disney World, now as Mickey Mouse. Yes! When he told me about this, I met him at a bar back in that spring semester, and I knew he was leaving, and I walked in. He came in for the interview, and I just kind of saw him at the bar, and across the way I was like, "Hey, Tom! How did the interview go? Do you like the job?" He replied, "It's the best job in the whole world." Alright, it's my time, but I just want to give a quick thanks. Please give a round of applause. Thank you to Rich. Thank you to Pierre and Steve. Please bring me back my asses, chaps. Nick Petrillo. Give him a hand. Fine example of America's youth. Wearing assless chaps in high school. All right.